Over the past few months, I've had the pleasure of researching a wonderful historical Plymouth woman, Ruth Elizabeth Huston. Ruth was born in 1896 and was part of the graduating class of 1913. Ruth was a disciplined student and avid historian. She made the honor roll all 4 years of high school. Ruth kept track of all of her high school memories and classmates in this journal called Schoolgirl's Days, a memory book. In the beginning of the journal, Ruth keeps pictures of her old classmates signed by them and their date of their grad year. She also has handwritten letters from each of her classmates. She also keeps letters that her classmates wrote her after high school. The journal also contains quite a few class pictures, with a list of each of her classmates' name at the bottom of the picture. Ruth was also a major suffragette and highly supported voting for women and women's rights. Many notes in her journal show that. After high school, Ruth continued on to get higher education at the University of Michigan. After college, Ruth continued on to be a teacher at Plymouth High School. She taught debate and English, and she even led her debate students to a state championship. She also taught at Northwestern High School. Shortly after, though, Ruth's life came to a halt for love. She met a local Plymouth boy, Huston Whipple. From the farm on Haggerty Highway where he grew up, he brought an appreciation of flowers, a taste for fresh fruit and vegetables, and a host of wise sayings. He also brought an affinity for animals, so that Penman Avenue, he encouraged the keeping of pets, including cats, dogs, ducks, rabbits, 2 goats, a horse named Jimmy, and a possum called George. Although he valued a good nap, he was usually on the go, but he seldom strayed beyond a day's drive away. Perhaps he always remembered how his car had been stolen in New York on his first honeymoon. Yes, that's right, honeymoon. Ruth and Huston wedded in 1925, and he recalls it as one of the happiest days of his life. His brothers, Art, Elmore, and Cal, served as his groomsmen for his small, simple wedding with Ruth. Huston grew very close to his father-in-law and started to take over the family hardware store, Huston and Company Hardware. Just a few years after their marriage in 1925, Ruth found out she was expecting a child. She named him Edson Whipple. Just 5 years later, Edson found out he was going to be a big brother. Ruth gave birth to their second child, Elmer, in 1936. The boys loved spending time with their dad, and they often did many activities like ice skating, going to the lake, and fishing. As Ruth's dad slipped into the progressing stages of dementia, she stayed home and became a homemaker. She remained home for the crucial years of the boys' lives. She often talked about her famous cookies and how they were an important factor in the Whipple home. She said they always brought joy through a bad day. When Ruth's father passed away, Huston took the liberty of keeping the business going. He sold the famous Daisy air rifles, and everyone could not wait to get their hands on one. Ruth took on a job as city councilman. She stayed very busy and managed to keep her home life going strong. Believe it or not, shortly after her father's death, Ruth became the mayor of Plymouth from 1940 to 1942. She stressed extreme changes when it came to women's rights and social reforms. Ruth was not only Plymouth's first mayor, but she was the first female mayor in Michigan's history. After giving up her position as mayor, Ruth came home to finish raising her kids and support them through all their journeys in life. Unfortunately, in 1955, Ruth passed away from heart problems, just as her father and mother did. Her son Edson went on to have 2 children, Mary Ann Whipple and Edson Austin Whipple Jr. Huston was now a widower, but not for long. He soon married Hope Worth Hill in 1958. Huston outlived 2 strong-minded wives and for the most part successfully avoided doctors, strong drink, and tobacco. Unfortunately, on June 2, 1988, Huston died from natural causes. Both of his children went on to live successful, good, wonderful lives.